Do you believe in a current, as we speak today, medium of Neander or Chaminuka or any other Makombwe or Mondoro that are being talked about?
Oh, no, I don't. Never.
Why?
Because they have not demonstrated it. I don't have to question, I don't have to research. They must demonstrate that power and show it out. Taminuka never hid his powers, demonstrated it publicly. He would put a spear, sit on top of it. And these people that you talk about, they're hiding behind skin. And the one question I ask them is, did they ever drink Coca-Cola? Once they say yes, then I know they have no knowledge. Yeah.
Awesome. Excellent. How does dark spirituality work? And how advantageous or detrimental is it to the African? We already talked about the really low vibrational entities that somewhat don't really have nothing to do with Africans, but yet we still practice dark spirituality.
Yeah, we need that. We need that. I'll just put in a caution.
So we're misusing dark spirituality.
No. A lot of people that engage in it, they don't know the purpose of it.
Okay.
Now, if the purpose of having something like Chikwambo is for me to kill my young brother and have his cows and stuff like that, it's useless. It's stupidity. What we need
and I just wanted to pause right there.
Yes.
It's also funny how powerful Makona are, but they can never be used against the European.
The colonizer.
The real oppressor. But
that's what I was
saying.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you study the Rothschilds and the Knight Templars, how they were able to establish a financial system that is all over the world. Behind them, the Knight Templars were only 9 men who went to Jerusalem to dig up certain stuff in Jerusalem. They went back to Europe very rich. They were fighters. Physically, they fought. They were not only thinkers, but they fought. Rothschild, Amschel Bauer Rothschild, was a thinker and a practical man. And he engaged in certain systems, and he established the financial system. So what we need on these dark entities, let's have them, and let those entities establish a system that removes the current global financial system, World Health Organizational system, United Nations system, and let's put our own system in place. Then I'll start to clap hands and say, Cherio, keep it up. But if it's a magic to win the World Cup, I don't need it, because I need dark magic to have a World Cup system myself. So they have no power against this system. You are very right.
What must Zimbabwe do in order to return to our pre-colonial innocence?
The same things that I spoke about, that we need identity. Remove these borders mentality that we have, and focus on political solutions that make it a point that national wealth is protected and shared equally across all the so-called provinces, and our food, restore them, and please stop the Chinese, don't give them any land. Remove every Chinese. If they are Chinese with title deeds, just tear those title deeds and tell them, we are sorry, they cannot own land in any part of Africa. They can work, but the land belongs to the indigenous people, not other people. We know their history. Read the Package Principle to understand what the Chinese will do to us.
How can we stop African leaders from being answerable to the powers that may be, rather than to our ancestors?
That's the most difficult part of your question. All your questions, that one is the most difficult one. because it calls upon 20% of the grassroots in any zone on earth to understand their identity and then influence all the other people around. And then from there, it is called mass rising of the grassroots that cuts across tribal, political, and everything, and goes to the national need, economic, wealth distribution, education, and many others. And it's very difficult, but it can be done by people that teach the truth, that teach the national identity, just like what we are doing at Mwenemtapa Restoration and also Committee Buru Ethics Marifado and many other organizations, so that the masses come up and they know that voting is not our system. Electioneering, don't trust those politicians. They just come to give you a sweet talk, and once you vote them in, they're gone. And the worst off, they are bigger powers that control, and they will kill them if they start to show any signs that they want to print their own currency and have their own agenda, just like what they did with Colonel Muammar Gaddafi.
Okay, I've listened to Elder Mkwakwami and his lectures. Now I'm by myself, and the video is gone, and I'm left in my room. What are the kind of things that can draw us further from our ancestors?
It is if you don't talk to your ancestors, if you don't think
Physically
about
talk,
them,
like
physically talk, like what we are talking, like what I'm talking in your
Okay.
privates, not shouting, not jumping up, but in your privates, knowing the deeds and then knowing which ancestors to call upon and some ancestors not to call upon, because you don't want to call a Medara as an ancestor. You have to know so and so as a Medara, you don't call upon him. That's why there are so many things that you have to learn, and they know your identity. That's all you need. Talk to your ancestors. Tell them what you need. Talk to the Creator. Tell him what you need. Tell her what you need. Don't think the ancestor is demon. No. Our ancestors are not demonic, because otherwise you are a demon yourself. Don't trust Jesus. Don't trust Allah. They colonized and enslaved us. Look for enslavement and the pictures and what they did to us. You will never go back to that church again.
How can Africans in the diaspora be attached to their ancestors and their ancestors' ways of living in the diaspora? I remember you mentioned earlier that food, but there's Albertson, there's only Albertson, there's Winkle, there's Safeway, there's no Chikwana in Mwenemtapa where kwatinozati kuri kubva vanhu vari kurima zvirimwa zvisina chiyemo nezvakakudaro.
Totemism. Every black person is a totem. Once you find that, I've got a book and I've got a process of how you can find your totem or adopt a totem. Once you adopt a totem, it means you understand Ubuntu, and the spirits will start to give you directions. Many people, thousands of people have done that, and they have found their way out. And then from there on, you eliminate food, because totems will teach you what you should eat, your body, what your body and your tribe eats, and then from there, your way is out. So speak to your ancestors, get your totems, get your ID, know where your tribe came from. If it was autochthonous in America, that's good. If you came from Nigeria, read about them, study about the Igbo, study about the Ashanti, the Ibibios, the Shonas, the Ndebelés, if ever you are connected with them, to know who is you. Your identity matters most, because if you don't know your totem or your identity, you are suffering, whether from open identity crisis or subtle identity crisis. Some of your behavior is based on ignorance of who you are.
Okay, so we're going to have to go really fast until our second break. I think we have like 10 questions before our second break, and then the final chapter will have like 20. I don't know. What are the ingredients, if you can just like put them in point form, the ingredients that we need in order to empower the Africans so that the African can rise up once again as a leading power in the world?
One, they must identify their identity, which is Ubuntu, and that identity must be locked in and tied in with the ancient civilization like Kemet, Utopia, Lemuria, Atlantis. They must. That's where we must go. Second, we need a re-educational program in which we remove everything that denigrates us as a race. So we need to adopt good food and observe taboos about food. I shouldn't eat my totem. I shouldn't eat my mother's totem. I shouldn't eat my grandmother's totem if she is alive. When she's dead, I can eat it. So those three: identity, with ancient civilization, re-education, and the food, because it is food that generates the energy for thinking. So if you are eating wrong food and you are thinking and coming up with programs, what kind of programs are you coming up with? The Bible that you use. So it is the spiritual level that has to do with education and the food that we need. Those three, once it is taught, then we will find our own spirituality, because once we connect ourselves with these civilizations, we will find all the other systems that we need to survive: political, economic, technological, education, socially, marriage, happiness, sickness, burial, spirituality, and so forth. Because all the ingredients are in those civilizations, beginning with the Kemet, Utopia, and going backwards.
Lonke Makadime say, Priest Teacher Rabbi LMDumizulu of Committee Hebrew Ethics Marifado. Lonke Makadime say, reality is reviewed in the present moment. Stop the God fiction force before the God fiction took over the earth. Find out more and email us or join at marifado.com. Ubuntu is Mahat. Power of knowing. Grab the bestseller, The Creator or a God Understand by Priest Rabbi LMDumizulu. Read a real fact. Get yours today from Amazon. The light from the darkness. Applied wisdom. May you rise to the stars. This life, Committee Hebrew Ethics welcomes you all. Thank you. Attenda, Siabonga. Subscribe and share.